Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to this. It's a trial, it's a pilot episode. We look back at the month that was January, as we are now in February. January is the longest month known to man. And for the pilot, who else but the Cruncher to kick us off and join me on this one. Welcome in, Rich. Love
Good
the merch.
afternoon.
How are you doing?
I'm good, mate. Yourself?
Good, yeah. It was a mix. It was a good month, but a mixed month. Some fans looking at it a bit negatively. So let's just kick things off straight away with what actually happened during the month of January. We started with an absolute mauling of Gillingham, 4-0. Then we got beat by Bolton, 2 costly errors in that one, if you remember. Accrington and Stanley, we won 2-1. Wimbledon 2-0, and then obviously Wednesday just recently losing 1-0. If I had to ask you a team performance for January, what would you give the team out of 10? You know, what
out of 10, well, 3 wins, 2 defeats. So I'll go on 2 points a win. So I'd go 6 out of 10, Martin, is what I'd do. Because obviously it was an outstanding performance against Gillingham.
Expected, though.
Gillingham were not a great side. It could have been more than 4. The Bolton performance was a real flat one, wasn't it? It should have been probably a 0-0 draw. If we're being honest, it wasn't a great game. 2 individual errors. Stanley, we could talk
again,
about
expected though, isn't it? It's expected.
We've spoken about these a lot on here, about their style of play. You know, they get as much out of their team that they can, but we should expect to beat them because we've not got a great record against them, have we? And obviously went a goal down in that game, but come back to win 2-1. Obviously went away to AFC Wimbledon last Tuesday.
That was hard work. That was more hard work than it perhaps should have been as well.
Yeah, it was hard work. The first half was a little bit of a non-event, that game. They had some good youngsters, played football the right way, didn't really have a goal threat. And then as soon as Wes Burns scored that first goal, I think we were well on the way. But there was obviously the incident from the corner, I think about 5 or 10 minutes before, when Walton's done his scorpion kick clearance somehow.
Still a fluke.
3 points there, which was great. But then once again, big expectation. We go to Sheffield Wednesday away on Saturday, and we just failed to turn up. Really flat, without a shot on goal. So yeah, I think 6 out of 10. I think for the month.
How good would the month have been if you just managed to turn that Bolton or even Wednesday into 1 point? 10 out of 15, not 9.
Yeah, because it'd have been, look, you'd have had 3 wins, a draw, and a defeat, and it's a little bit. You've got 3 wins and 2 defeats, haven't you? Really, but
9 out of 15.
Like, so the Bolton game that should have been the game, really, Martin. That was the 0-0 draw, but then we were on top in that game, obviously, when they scored the first goal. So we know what the division's like. If you have lapses in concentration, which we have in them 2 defeats that have been costly, they've cost us goals, and ultimately that's why we've returned from them 2 away days with no points.
Absolutely, and this might be easy, it might be hard, but what was the highlight of January for you?
I'd say probably the performance away at Gillingham. You know, it was Kieran's first away game.
Yeah,
filthy day down in Kent. You know, we were on that away, I'd say, stand, but it's not really. It's like it's
not even a porter cabin.
Yeah,
porter cabins have roofs.
Stand that's been there for like 18 years. It wasn't great weather. We were 3-0 up, weren't we? In like just over 20 minutes. Made really light work of them.
But it looked really dominant as well. Not just that they were poor.
We really good football. I know we can say Gillingham weren't great, but you can only beat what you're up against. And we did put them to the sword. We could have done an Oxford. You know, we could have had 6 and 7.
Probably should have done
4-0. Look, we're not going to complain away from home, and we have had some outstanding performances with the flat ones away from home. We've scored 4 goals away from home, I think 3 times this season. I don't know when we've last done that. So to go down there, a Steve Evans team. Well, it was then, and then obviously he was sacked after that game. It was a really good performance. So yeah, I'd say that was my highlight of January.
Okay, well, what about a low light then? What was the low point of January?
I think you've got to say the performance on Saturday. It's a big
Wednesday
game. Yeah, it's a big game once again, Martin. We've taken nearly 3,000 up there, and we were just flat as a pancake, weren't we?
We were.
No goal threat. You could
say that for Bolton, to be fair.
Yeah,
back of beating Wickham in December, beating Gillingham comprehensively, and then you've laid a cow pat.
These are the type of games, though. These are the type of games where if you're going to be a promotion contender, when you don't play well away from home, you have to dig that result out. And I've said this before, we have too many of these sort of performances, especially away from home, and too many performances where the majority of the 11, Martin, are way below par. You can get away with it, probably 2 or 3, and then the rest can drag you through. And you could, you could have drawn definitely the Bolton game. Saturday's game, it was a 1-0 victory for Wednesday, but really,
not a shot on target. So
no, but we got away with it. First half, we were lucky to still be in that game. So if it was 2 or 3-0 Saturday and we'd have come away from there, I don't think we could have any grumbles.
No. Okay. How about individuals? Who was your performer of the month for January?
I think if you look through, there's one outstanding performer for me. He's got 4 goals in the month. Wes Burns. Started the month well at Gillingham with that goal there. He's obviously scored the goal against Stanley, the equaliser from when we were 1-0 down, and it could have been 2-0 down if it wasn't from Christian Walton's save. That's another thing, Mike. That could be another one of my highlights of the month. The save from Christian Walton.
Yeah.
1-0 against Stanley. It's a real crucial part of that game. Go 2-0 down in that game, I think it's probably going to be game over. But I'd say Wes Burns, look, he's got 4 goals in his last 5. He's been on fire, hasn't he, really?
Yeah, he has,
when he doesn't perform, it seems as though the team doesn't perform. So I think he's really been a standout player, and he'd be my player of the month for January, definitely.
Spot on. Okay. What about an underperformer? Who really needs to have a good February because they had a bad January?
I don't want to be too critical of this player. George Edmondson.
Fair shout. It's fair.
I think he's the Gillingham game. I'll take that one out. But I think the next 4 games, Bolton obviously has made the error with the second goal when Atherline he was on the move and Edmondson didn't know he was there.
Atherline's read him like a
he did. Switched off.
ABC
I didn't
book.
think he was at his greatest in the Stanley. Then he was given the captaincy, obviously, because Sam Morsey's ban. And I think that might be weighing a little bit heavy on his shoulders. I didn't think he was great. Saturday, he made an error that led to the goal. I wouldn't say it was the main reason. It was
there was still enough time to cut it out.
The start of
I agree.
That, then the cross, then the runner wasn't tracked. So any goal that you concede, you can look anywhere really for an error. But I think when you're away from home, especially the first 10, 15 minutes, Martin, in a big game like that, you're a centre-back, just play the percentages, turn their defenders, put it over the top.
Clear lines.
Yeah, and just he didn't.
Tony Mowbray.
But it's not just him. I think we've said this before on this platform several times. It's the way these teams want to play nowadays. They love playing football. So I think sometimes you just got to suck it up and say, look, you're going to make errors. Sometimes it's going to lead to a goal. But I think Edmondson, I don't want to be too critical for it because he's been a really outstanding signing this season. So I just think he's been a little bit off it this past 2 or 3 games.
Underperforming January by his high standards, I think, is what you're saying there. Okay, so January yielded 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 goals from 5 games. Which one was your favourite of the lot?
We scored some really good goals, didn't we, at Gillingham?
Yeah.
There was I think it was the Bong goal? There's about 8 passes, and then Sonny Aluko plays that great through ball to Matt Penny, crosses it, and then Bond just taps in. My favourite is the equaliser against Stanley, because football is a game of small margins, Martin. Like I just said, we could quite easily have been 2-0 down in that game. I think 55 seconds later, we've broken from their throw-in. Bursant Salina, I know Matt Phillips says he's a bit of a luxury player, and he probably is. I'm not saying he's not. And he does need to do more of what he showed in that game, Great through ball, either needle.
That's what he can do, isn't it? That's what he can do.
Their defence. And Wes Burns didn't have to break his run, and he's just flicked it over the goalkeeper, and then a great knee slide down by the corner flag. So, goal of the month, Wes Burns.
I love that. And the last question, if you're playing along at home, these are the ones I'm asking the Cruncher. Let us know what you think in the comments. February, 18 points on offer. How many points do you think will be returning to Portman Road?
So we'll go through the games individually. We've got Gillingham Saturday, home win. Should be, if you're doing the pools Saturday, that's a home banker, Martin. Every day of the week. I know they've got a new manager, Neil Harris. I think it'll probably be a tougher game than it might have been. Win there. Doncaster next Tuesday. It's another game. You've got to go and beat them. We're playing the bottom 2 teams in the league here. If we've got any aspirations of pushing up this table, you've got to go there and you've got to get a victory. I'll go 6 points from them. MK away, real tough game. I know we're taking a lot of fans there. That worries me. Because I said on Sunday, when was the last time we really put in a big performance when we've gone somewhere with a big following? I'm going for a defeat there. Narrow defeat.
That would kill the playoff hope for me. That would kill us in the playoffs. That'd be it.
Scott Twine, one of my favourites, plays for them. I think he might do the damage. Then we're back to Portman Road, Burton Albion,
Cheltenham
team. Got to be another win. Cheltenham at home. I know we struggled early season. This is the problem, Martin. We're playing all these teams who, when we played them early season, we thought, oh, this is a lovely little start. We've got Burton, Cheltenham, Morecambe.
Yeah.
What did we get out of them games? We got 1 point.
1 point.
So Burton Albion, home win. Cheltenham,
home win
on Tuesday.
That's
another home win. And then I think Morecambe away. They're fighting for their lives down the bottom. They've got Cole Stockton. He's red hot. He is banging form. They've kept hold of him in the window. I think that'll be a really tough game there, and I'll go for a draw. So I'm going to go 13 points from 18.
Okay. All right.
Will it be enough?
Well, I don't think it would be. I'm beaten, or certainly not beaten is the key for February. So MK Dons at worst for me has to be a point, but in reality, for the playoffs and chasing, it's got to be 18 from this month because you haven't got anybody, and I say this with all due respect, who should really worry you except MK Dons. Now, you watch us go and lose on Saturday, but if we have any hopes for the playoffs, we can't lose. So at the very least, it's got to be 4 wins and a draw. 4 wins and a draw. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's what I think. But we'll see what happens. Crunch, thank you for joining me on this one. I hope you've enjoyed it at home. Let us know what you think in the comments. Let us know what you would have said for January, and keep your eyes out for February. I'll see who I can rope in for then. But until then, with love, with care.